Okay, so now we are going to move on to one more rule. And this next rule is called the quotient rule. So obviously it has to deal with fractions. And the rule goes like this. F of x, if f of x equals g of x divided by h of x, then f prime of x equals g prime of x, h of x, minus h prime of x, g of x, divided by h of x squared. Okay, now again, don't get intimidated here. This is just a formula to use. Once you identify g as the numerator and h as the denominator, you just plug everything into your formula. Okay, so let's assume, instead of going into applied examples, let's just assume we have two a basic functional form. Let's assume that we have f of x equals x to the a over x to the b. Okay, let's just assume we have that. So we can plug anything in for a or b that we want. Well, then we can identify g of x as the numerator, which is x to the a, and h of x as the denominator, which is x to the b. Then g prime of x equals a x to the a minus 1, and h prime of x equals bx to the b minus 1. Okay, so now let's plug all this into our formula and see what we get, just in a very general sense. So f prime of x then equals g prime of x, which is a x to the a minus 1, times h, which is x to the b, minus h prime, which is bx to the b minus 1, times g, which is x to the a. And this is over h squared, which is x to the 2b. Okay? Because x to the b is h, square that, it's x to the 2b. Remember the rules of exponents a long time ago. That's what that would end up being. Okay, so let's go ahead and combine like terms and simplify. So this is f prime. Sorry, that's f prime. So what do we get? We get f prime equals, okay, now this is, we have two x's here. This is a minus 1 plus b. That is b minus 1 plus a. Okay? So what do we get? We get a times x to the a plus b minus 1 minus b times x to the a plus b minus 1. All of this over x to the 2b. So what can we do here? Well, it looks like that we can factor out the a minus b, right? Because this and this are exactly the same. So this gives us a minus b times x to the a plus b minus 1. And all of this is over x to the 2b. Now, what's interesting here is we have 1b up here, we have 2b down here. Okay, so you see what's happening here? We can actually subtract the 2b from this. This means that f prime of x equals a minus b times x to the a plus b minus 1 times x to the negative 2b. So this is a plus b minus 1 minus 2b. What do we get? We get f prime of x equals a minus b times x to the a minus b minus 1. And that's our final answer. So this is the derivative of this using the product rule. Now, what I want to do here is I want to do a little experiment. We went through a bunch of stuff to get to this point. What if we use the rules of exponents like we used a long time ago, combined with the product rule, and see what we get? Okay? So we get f of x, combined with the power rule, the power function rule, and see what we get. So we get f of x equals x to the a divided by x to the b. But we know, using the rules of exponents, that this is x to the a times x to the negative b. And of course this equals x to the a minus b. Okay? So now let's use the power function rule. What do we get? F prime of x equals a minus b times x to the a minus b minus 1. Both of these are the same. Okay? So this is the quotient rule. It's a more complicated rule, and we'll go over some examples.